Hey, Gemini, and welcome to your February reading. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before. So, we are going to kick it off by getting into the story in tarot of your month, and we will cap off your reading by pulling a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to weave in a little guidance from your stars into the story. So, Spirit, what do you want to share with Gemini in the month of February? Those born under the sign of Gemini, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, Gemini Dominant People Spirit. Want to know what you want to share with Gemini in the month of February, where Gemini is coming from, and how the world is showing up and responding to Gemini. Spirit, want to know what Gemini needs to know for their highest good in the month of February. Any pertinent details about the past as they pertain to the present and to the unfolding future for Gemini. And Spirit, importantly, we want to know, how can Gemini step into the future that is most fulfilling, fun, resonant, coherent, joyful? What do they need to know this month for their highest good? What is the story for Gemini? And what do they need to know for their highest good? Ooh, I just accidentally got a peek at one of your cards. It's a good one. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. Spirit. Gemini. The month of February. Okay. Okay. Change. You know, it's like, it's one of those things about humans that unless it is forced upon us, we generally speaking are not crazy about going out of our way to make a change. Like, hey, can we just keep things exactly the way that they are for as long as possible, please? That would be fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, Gemini. It feels like some words have been said that can't be taken back. That's how I'm hearing it. Center of your reading. Three of Swords. And we're going to jump around a little bit here. Three of Swords is harsh words, hurtful words. And importantly, what Spirit is pointing out is like, these are the kinds of words that if you don't like specifically work to shift the way that you're thinking, these words are the kind of words that play over and over, or like, I can't forget that you said fill in the blank, and that means like I can't come close to you, or I don't feel safe around you, or that kind of vibe. So Gemini, now is a great time to remind you, these are general readings, of course, because we're here on YouTube. If this was a personal reading, then Spirit would be getting really specific. These are the kinds of words, or this is who said this, or whatever. In a general reading, I'm going to get a lot of different messages. I'm a medium, I'm an intuitive reader, so I hear from Spirit and I relate to you and take what you value, what resonates with you, what serves you. And if something doesn't resonate with you or doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about that. That means that's for some other Gemini. Okay? Okay. So, hurtful words that we replay over and over again. So, for some of you, this is like deep old pain where it's like, I am in this moment getting an old wound like re-triggered, like reopened by something that someone is saying to me, or like a dynamic that is happening in my current life is kind of reopening this wound, or at least like pointing me toward this wound. And it's a wound that hasn't been resolved. It's a wound that hasn't been healed. These are swords that you still carry around in your heart. Now, beautifully, wonderfully, thankfully, crossing your reading, Temperance, the card for gentle, healthy shifts. So, Temperance is slow, easy, organic, pleasurable shifting. Temperance is also the old school word for not drinking. So, some of you might be having like a little bit of reflection with yourself around maybe drinking or some type of substance, or even, it doesn't have to be a literal substance, it doesn't have to be about drinking or smoking or whatevering. It can be about like, I watch too much television, or like I indulge in too much fill in the blank, and it keeps me from actually being engaged with myself and what's going on in my inner world. You know what I'm talking about? People have many different things, and spirit, there's one of those cases where spirit's saying many different things, where some people it's like, I go out and look for someone to have sex with, slash like have that um new relationship energy with, and inevitably I end up back with myself where I feel a little lonely or whatever. Not because doing that is wrong, but because we got to start with us. And if we're looking for that new relationship energy or that new thing or that new hobby, because like I don't want to be here, we always end up back here, ironically, like, because that's how this shit works, is like, hey, spiral, here you are right back with your loneliness, even those people. And this is what spirit is saying, so this is interesting. Spirit is saying this is even true for people who are really rich, really famous, really, like, you would think like, oh, you famed or moneyed your way out of the fact that your mother never fucking loved you or whatever the fuck it is. But no, like none of those things. We always end up right back with the pain that needs our attention. And it's not like because it's chasing and attacking, it's because it's like that's our heart, and we can't do anything in life without it. So we're always going to end up right back with, how is the state of my heart? Like, how am I speaking to myself? Am I speaking to myself with the voice or the words of somebody from my deep past? And am I repeating some of that programming? And if so, temperance. It's time to start making some gentle shifts. And temperance is, importantly, it's moderation. It's the opposite of extremes. It's not, I'm never doing this again, or I'm always gonna blah from now on. It's instead of saying I'm going to get up now from, I haven't been to the gym in a year, and now starting tomorrow it's 2 hours every single day I'm going to be in the gym. And it's like, is that going to happen? Or would it be better to be like, I haven't been to the gym in over a year, I'm going to promise myself to take a 5-minute walk every morning before I go into work, or whatever. That sounds like sustainable. That sounds like a gentle way to start taking a little bit better care of like your cardiovascular health or whatever, for example. Like, or, I'm not going to change up my whole diet, but maybe I start drinking more water because I know that will be good for my body no matter what else I'm doing. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Gemini, I know that starting off with the Three of Swords is like, oh, come on, man. I want to share with you, there's a lot of beautiful stuff in your reading. Sitting in the basement, sitting in what might be like unseen, or a process that's going on within you that is manifesting in the outer world. And we'll get to that in a second. Six of Wands, if you have any doubt, which I doubt that you have, I doubt that you have doubt, then I hope that you're not doubting your talents. I hope that you're not doubting your victory and slash, potential for victory, and the rightful attention and accolades that you deserve for your unique talents. Six of Wands, it's like, show off. You're showing up, you're lighting up the room. There is something inside of you. So maybe nobody knows about this yet, or maybe very few people know about this, or whatever. But you recognizing yourself is what, again, leads to the expansion of that to, oh, I allow other people to see me and recognize me and celebrate me for what I bring to the table. So are you appreciating your talents? Are you looking in the mirror and saying kind things to yourself instead of the opposite? Temperance. Ooh, I have a tendency to really belittle the strides that I'm making or whatever. So to do a little bit of what the weird lady on the internet said, I'll just put a couple coins in that other scale of like, but you know what? I really see that you're trying, and I really admire you for that. Saying that to yourself, like, if I'm not perfect and I'm not where I want to be, but I'm doing what I can with what I have, and that should give me a sense of confidence and a sense of like, you're doing a good job. Okay? So appreciate yourself. I feel that a lot of you are, but a few of you need a little extra push to like, hey, just because not everybody can see it yet doesn't mean that it's not real. I don't know who needs to hear that. You. Okay. How is that Six of Wands on the inside manifesting in the external world? With a beautiful change of luck, with positive forward momentum, with seasons changing for you. So if you've been in a season of Three of Swords, you're going to be moving out of that season. And one of the ways to do that is to give yourself some positive attention and appreciation and the room to exercise your creative gifts and like allow them to be seen by other people to the extent of which you feel comfortable. Of course, always don't do anything you don't fucking want to do. It's really important. But your luck is changing in a positive way. And what Spirit wants me to say to you, Gemini, is when you push the wheel, Spirit pushes with you. When you say, okay, I want to move things in this direction. So again, I'm going to start taking a 5-minute walk every morning. When you push the wheel, Spirit pushes with you. They're like, oh, is that is that where your thoughts and your feelings are going? Because we'll send you more feedback for that. More feedback for that, more feedback for that to help you gain this momentum, positive momentum. Where you find yourself in the moment, Ace of Swords, getting clarity, moving from cloudy and gray and unsure to when I pull the sword out of my heart, here's what I actually really know to be true. And actually, upon that reflection and that gentle healing, that temperance that you're doing with yourself and the appreciation that you're giving to yourself, one of these swords that you pull out that you'd be like, you know what? This is so funny, but this is what Spirit is saying, is like, for a long time, I was really hating myself for the way that like I disappointed my parent, right? But when I reflect upon what it was about me that was disappointing, it was the fact that I was telling the truth. And actually, I like that about myself. Or it was the fact that I stayed gentle no matter how much they tried to make me man up or be whatever. And I like that about myself. And so you may find out that this source of your wound is actually one of your, one of the crowning jewels of you, has made you sharp. The Ace of Swords is actually also about just being really clear and straight and great with your words. So if you need to draw a line or have an honest conversation with somebody that might be a little uncomfortable, where it's like, cut the shit. This is what's really happening. What about you? What do you think? Like that's what kind of what I'm hearing is like, here's what I see. Here's what I'm experiencing. What about you? Like, let's figure this out. And just having a blunt conversation. Sitting in the past. When it comes to money and work and resources, I see you building up something that has a ton of potential, and I see you doing more in the future. It feels like it is in its beginnings or in its infancy, and when I say that, that doesn't mean that it's not amazing and that it's not already something to be so proud of. That means there's even more to experience and to learn and to grow. And that's a good thing. Okay. So please take it as that. You've reached some great milestones. You have track record now to prove like, oh, I've got a skill or a resource that when I apply myself, it will multiply. In the energy around you and available to you. 7 of Wands, conflict, a little bit of opposition, a little bit of competition, but you have everything that you need to be on top, okay? And you don't have to have everything perfect. Notice this guy is wearing 2 different sets of footwear. We got a boot and we got a shoe here. This person did not have all the right equipment, all the right network, all the right things, whatever, and they are still on top because of their raw talent and ability. So trust. Once you get the sense from the inside that, you know what, I do have something really worthwhile, go ahead and take it out there. The world is ready. In fact, the world needs you, is something that I'm hearing. The key to this whole thing, before we jump to your future, is to be yourself, to know yourself, to pursue the light of understanding inside of yourself, your own, keeping your own counsel, searching for your own wisdom. It's not because other people can't be helpful or can't be great mirrors or supporters, but ultimately, you're on a journey to know thyself. You're on the journey of finding your own truth, your own voice, sharing what it is that you have to give with the world. That's what I'm hearing. And jumping to the future, I see you taking this thing and sharing it. Yes, this is quote unquote, just the beginning. And I'm a Page of Pentacles. I'm not a queen or a king yet. But I've got this thing, and it all starts with me spreading the word. And then as I spread the word, people are likely to start thinking of me as an authority on this thing. And slowly, as I grow my skills and my confidence, I evolve into that queen or that king of pentacles, whatever your desire may be. You are evolving, and that evolution comes with gentleness, with recognition of your own talents and skills, and importantly, desires. So maybe some of you have been living for other people, whether living for, mommy and daddy from the deep past, or living for like your current partner or family. And maybe now you are discovering that you are a little more individuated and differentiated and are craving that sense again. And that is not a bad thing. Okay? I see you celebrating that. I see you moving toward that, and that being a very life affirming, light embracing feeling. Okay? Okay. So, Gemini, let's close off your reading with a little guidance from your stars. Spirit, to weave together with the rest of this story, what message do you want to share with Gemini in the month of February for their highest good? Wow. Wow. So your first card up, solar flares, and the key word here is activate. So very activating, initiating energy, right? And then your second card up is achieve. It's the Capricorn card, but the key word is achieve, and sitting in your future again, Page of Pentacles, the one who is like, I am a willing and adept student. I'm willing to put in the work to get from the bottom to the top, which is what Capricorn does. They are the mountain goat. They will ascend no matter how high, no matter how treacherous. They will find a way because they trust themselves and they know their worth. So, activate and achieve. How's that sit with you, Gemini? How's that sit? How's that feel? How's that hitting you? Let me know. Questions, comments, stories, reflections, just south of this video. I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you ever want a personal reading, the ways to do that are also just south of this video. I'm on MadelineTheVillageWitch.com if you want to see or read or watch more. I appreciate you being here, Gemini, and I really hope that the time spent pays for itself many times over. And I hope also, Gemini, that I will see you next time. Bye-bye.